Hey, in this video, we are going to do a bounty system that drops rewards to the killers when they kill the bounty. Let's continue the tutorial. Hi everyone. In this video, we have a sweet bounty system. So what it does is it tracks the KDs, so the KD score, kill death score of all the players, and also the guards that you have put in this array. I'm using the guard for test purposes, but you might actually want to have it as an actual gameplay element, right? So we have a bounties array on the verse device where you can define your bounties, and what happens is, basically when someone surpasses a KD limit of a bounty, they get that bounty on themselves, which we show that with a VFX. So it's actually a sprite VFX. So VFX itself doesn't do anything, but we have a bounty texture, and that's in a material, which does. So it has a flow. It has a glow effect. More correctly, a shine sweep effect. You can see here, and it's actually, let's call it not emboss, but it's actually bounty, right? So it does a shine sweep effect. You can see here it uses a panner node, and then it gets the RG and the G, which is the actually the UV coordinates. So we basically do a diagonal smooth step, and we apply this high, large emissive color on it. So basically, if you would like to change the color of the sweep, you would change this value here. And then we have the texture, which is used with the sweep color to the emissive, and then we're using its alpha channel as the opacity mask. And then with the world position offset, we have the sine function connected to the time node, which means it just oscillates up and down, smoothly. And we also have a bit like up offset. So I found that 16, although my character's head is a bit big, 16 is quite nice. You can increase this as well to put it higher. And then an important setting on the material is that you need to make sure that it's actually not, I believe it's just you need to check this, because we are in the VFX, we are using it as a sprite render. So actually this is just the VFX itself doesn't do anything. All the effects you're seeing here are actually done in the material only. So we are just filling in the sprite render module, and that's that. And yeah, so we have the VFX bounty, which is a visual effects pickup device. Actually, we don't need this anymore, I believe, but yeah, so showing you a little bit. So I was using an empty VFX before, but yeah, let's just delete that, because we don't actually, I changed the code and we don't actually need that. Okay, so we don't need this. All right, now VFX bounty is a visual effects pickup power up device, and we have an infinite effect duration. It's a custom effect, and we have our Niagara bounty effect selected here, and then the socket is head. Make sure that it's applied to the player, anyone can see it, blah blah. And also what we want is and that we want the infinite effect duration, obviously, right? So that's what happens if you get the bounty on yourself, or if someone gets the bounty on themselves, they get this VFX on top of their head. And then There's also the notification system here, notification mechanic here. So when someone has a bounty on their head, when someone else is close to them, they will get this like bounty is nearby display on top of the screen, which basically it's just a hood messenger that I'm using, the Verse device is using. It's just a hood messenger. Important thing here is to make sure it's called on the triggering player and the show of duration is set on the hood messenger device. So it's basically if you are like in 2048 units in a bounty target, it will show you this notification message for at each 15-second mark. And if you don't want that notification thing, you can just actually disable this and it won't run. And we fill in the player spawners, we fill in the guard spawners, and so with the bounties, you can obviously define as much as you want. And so when the bounty target is eliminated, we have two triggers triggered by the Verse device. So you listen to them for you to do stuff. So this is on bounty eliminated target, which means an agent that had this bounty has eliminated. So that agent, the target, the one that had the bounty, is being used to trigger this, which there's nothing because I'm not doing anything with that. But I'm using the instigator version, which is triggered by the agent that has eliminated the bounty. So the agent that has got the bounty, basically. So what I'm doing is, using the triggers, so we have the trigger bounty instigator 1 and 2. So what I'm doing is I'm just granting the grantor bounty 1 and 2 when these are triggered, which is it's just I'm just giving 1 gold and 5 gold, right? So that's how you can actually give a bounty, like give a reward to the player, and then maybe I don't know, maybe if you want to punish the target, or maybe do something else with them, you can do using this trigger here. And yeah, that's all of that. Very easy to set up because we just have the VFX, the bounty, the notification stuff, and the bounties as much as you want to define. So as always, if you want to access the assets here or the code file directly, you can check our Patreon description. But let me show you the entire code now. So as you can see, the bounty, we already seen that. We have the agent data. So this is where we store the kills and deaths, and also the last notification time, and then which, like, if this agent has a bounty on it, what is the index of it. You've seen all of that. This is where we store the agent data. We listen to the initial events. And then if notification is enabled, we spawn the async notify bounty function, which takes at each a quarter of a second, and it looks at the location. So it pulls in the locations of all the live bounty targets, and then it notifies it to the alive agents that are not notified in a in this period time, that were not notified recently, basically. And then it looks at the distance, of course, and if the distance is shorter, then it will notify them. So what I'm doing here is that greater than 100, so it's squared, so it's 10 units. So what could happen was that you could actually get the notification on yourself if you have the bounty yourself. For that, of course, I would need to fill in. I could actually just did that, just make this a tuple and put the agent in it as well as the location, and make sure the agent here and the bounty agent are not the same. But instead of that, I just made, okay, make sure just there's a little bit distance, because in any way, like if you are too close to the bounty, you wouldn't want to get notified. It would be annoying. But at the same time, this works to this also prevents you getting notified by the bounty that you already you have. So this is where agent spawned. It's called agent spawn because this can be used for NPCs or like players, which I do. So if you have if you have an agent data before and you have a bounty, we pick up the bounty VFX, and if it's like the first spawn, then we listen to the elimination event and we also initialize your data. And when eliminated, so we first increase the deaths of the eliminated agent, and then maybe there's an eliminating agent, and we are making sure that eliminating and eliminated are different agents, and then we are increasing the kills of that agent, and then of course, we are looking if this was a bounty agent, and if so, we are triggering the instigator trigger with the eliminating agent and the target trigger with the eliminated agent. And then we update the bounties, and here for all the agents in this agent data map, we calculate the KD, which uses this function. Actually, we didn't need a function there because it's only called in one place, but whatever. So we just make sure this stats is at least 1, and then we just divide the kills and that value. And so we look for all the bounties, and like if the KD is greater than the bounty, we get that bounty index. And of course, an important thing here is that this assumes that your KD limits in your bounties array are in ascending order, in increasing order. So let me actually write this as a note here. Right? So make sure the KD limits of the bounties are in increasing order, or it wouldn't work properly. Because this loops all of them and makes assumes the latest one, or the later one will be the one with the greater KD limit, right? So it gets that bounty index, and then it shows, it sets that bounty index on the agent. And then if this agent doesn't have a VFX on it, so maybe we already had a bounty and so we already have a VFX, so it won't put that. But if this is the first ever bound, this is the maybe this is the bound. So if the agent didn't have a bounty, then it will pick up the VFX. And if this is all not working out, then it will just invalidate the bounty index. And you know what? That's all actually. So yeah, pretty simple. So let me scroll up slowly. So I tested this a bit myself. I mean, of course, I have to for all the codes, but even though this is simple enough, it all had some edge cases that I had to test more than I thought I would need to. But anyways, all right. Okay. So let me start the game. All right. So I get the weapon. So I'm going to kill that agent, kill that guard. So that's 1. So on the second kill, I'm going to get a bounty. So I have my bounty now. And on the third kill, my bounty has increased a level. So now I'm gonna go and die to this guy. Come on, you have like the highest accuracy. Come on. Okay. So this actually triggered the bounty trigger, but it triggered for him, so I don't see anything. So I still have the bounty because, I now had a KD, or I now have a lower KD, but now what happened is my bounty actually downgraded. Now, because I still have a high KD, high enough KD. So if I die this time, I will lose my bounty though. Okay, all right. So, yeah. So now I lost my bounty, and you can see that he has a bounty. And you can see as soon as I enter the range, you can see that it showed bounties nearby. Of course, that was like a huge texture, but you can like adjust it. You know, it's just a HUD messenger, so you can set whatever. I just wanted to make sure that it's like really visible. All right. Now he has 3 KD, right? So now I'm gonna go kill him, and I should get 5 gold. Yeah, right. So because that was the second bounty, and now this guy doesn't have a, and oh, okay, and it actually had 10 gold because I guess like I guess it got 5 and 5, so I guess it got like 10 gold from killing me twice. But yeah, this so this guy doesn't have a bounty yet because this is a newly spawned guard. So now he will get 1 bounty. So now, okay, so now if I kill him, so since he has a bounty of level 1, I will just get 1 gold. Yeah, you can see. All right, and that's all of it. Or maybe, okay, let me kill him a couple more times so you can see the bounty effect on me. Come on. I died a lot, so. Okay. All right. And yep, that's all of it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, hype, share, and comment what tutorial you would want to see next. See you later.